I have the time as 6:34, so I'll call the work session of the mayor and council for the city of Snellville, Georgia for Monday, October 12th, 2020 to order. We'll first go through the regular agenda. Is there anyone that will give the invocation?
Dave.
Anyone?
Melvin said he'd be here, but...
No, Melvin said he wouldn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's got a funeral.
Oh, that's right.
Who can do it in 30 seconds or less?
Yeah, you got a time limit.
Going once.
Gretchen.
Why are you looking at me?
Because you gave the last one and you did good.
But
No,
she
I
can't
don't.
go under 30 seconds.
So we'll go Gretchen, and
Sorry.
if we see someone else in the audience, we'll snag them.
Can we put the clock up when she's
Or Kelly's here.
Yeah, put
Does
that-
Kelly, do you want to do it?
Put it on 30 seconds.
Huh?
I can't do it 30 seconds.
I can do the pledge if you want me to.
Okay, Solange will do the pledge.
I think I'm full 5 minutes.
Then we're not gonna let you do it.
We have the minutes. All right, under the public hearing, we have the first reading of the UDO. That'll be to waive and put on the October 26th, is it?
Now, are we supposed to take public input? at
Yes.
this meeting?
Yes,
And then waive it? Okay.
yes. So I will open the floor first to public comment, and then it'll be waived to 10:26.
all two people can come in.
It's a lot.
Then we have
Keep them from getting to the microphone.
Then we have Resolution 2020-15, which is a moratorium on new development applications until October 27th. Does anybody have any questions on that? We just don't want any more applications to come in while we're anticipating the change. Jason, here was a question that we had on the Resolution 2020-16, the amendment to Table 2 for the future land use categories. Should we postpone that till next meeting when we're going to be voting on the other stuff, or do we go
If it's
ahead?
a resolution, yeah, really it shouldn't have been on the agenda this time, since it's a resolution, it's only takes 1 week, yeah, just postpone to next week will be fine.
Okay.
Next meeting.
Okay, so that's item C under the public hearing, if we can get a,
Make sure that you give it a date certain, you specify the date certain.
Yeah, October 26th.
And that's already been cleared by DCA, just in case you, they've already negotiated with.
okay, and then we have item D, which is another first reading for Ordinance 2020-13. And this is for the amendment to the official zoning map. Any questions there? Y'all need to take a look at these maps and just, kind of drill down, especially around the edges of the different areas, and make sure that those parcels are where you want them.
Yeah, and then just so you know, we didn't rezone, anything like rezone, BN changed to BG, so those are gonna change. And then when we renamed everything, those are basically the same thing, but renamed. But we didn't touch any individual parcels and rezone them outside of a combination or a renaming. Any of the new zoning districts that we do add in the UDO will still become before mayor and council, for the public hearing process. So then no individual parcel was taken and rezoned. Basically, just a reclassification or a name change that we're looking to do. And we haven't officially adopted the zoning map in over 10 years, so it's good to have it on record too.
Okay. Then we have item E, consideration and action on approval of the Series 2020 A and B revenue bond parameters. Butch is going to explain this, and we will be doing these as two separate votes.
This is a follow-up to our meeting last Wednesday where we agreed upon the $20 million max parameters for both A, the taxable series, and B, the tax exempt. We don't know the exact percentage yet, but basically there are two resolutions. Resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of Snellville, Georgia, to authorize the execution of a contract with the DDA in connection with the issuance of Downtown Development Authority of Snellville, Georgia Town Center Project Taxable Revenue Bonds, Series 2020A, and then it will be tax exempt, Series 2020B. Both are a maximum principal amount not to exceed $20 million, and it also includes an intergovernmental agreement with the DDA for the city to pay them back for the debt service. So there will be 2 documents.
Okay. But will there be a separate vote on the IGA?
Chuck, do you think we need a separate, so we need 4 votes?
3.
You're not doing the IGA tonight, you're just gonna do.
Okay, we're just doing the parameters.
Parameter documents that are the resolution allowing you to enter into that
Okay.
governmental agreement.
Okay.
Because there'll only be one in the governmental agreement once you all decide what you're going to do.
Okay.
So 2 separate votes.
Is that clear as mud?
We need to read it in that format, the way that you read it.
I can read the heading.
The caption's pretty clear on each one, it sets out what it is.
I'll read the caption and then just ask for a motion.
And that is an aggregate number. So,
Yes.
And then hopefully we won't get confused. Okay, then we skip down to new business. We have consideration and action on proposed fee agreement with Powell and Edwards. I'll be recusing myself because of a professional relationship between my firm and Powell and Edwards. If y'all want to have discussion on that, I'll leave the room. Was there any discussion you wanted to have?
Well, you can do that. You can do that during exec because that is a personnel matter. I mean, you can still step out and I'll step out, but you all can do that in exec if you wish.
Are we having an exec?
We are having an exec.
Okay, so we'll have it then. Okay. Then I'll be nominating Carrie Hetherington for Planning Commission Post 5. Then we have 3 awards of contracts. One for the stormwater drainage projects.
I noticed there wasn't a bid, at least I couldn't find one in our agenda packet, a bid summary for the stormwater. But I'm assuming that we're awarding it to the low bidder, correct?
We are,
Yeah,
and it's Dickerson,
right.
who's always a very aggressive bidder.
Will we get an additional discount if I bring in their sign that they left over on Brooks Drive?
You'd get a little attaboy.
Yeah.
So if y'all want a men working sign, there's one over on Brooks Drive. It's been there for 2 months.
Okay.
So,
It's good to know.
yeah. I would pick it up, but it says working and I ain't doing that.
We noticed.
Then we have,
No, sorry.
we have the bid for, or the award for the street patching and milling, and then lawn care. Does anybody have any questions on any of those?
And the lawn care is not going to include the cemetery. We're going to continue to do that.
Yes.
Okay, so that's it for the regular meeting. So we'll go back to the work session agenda. Butch, any correspondence?
Yes, I know I'm not sure I've ever read correspondence at a work session before, but we have 3 pieces that I think everybody needs to hear and will find interesting. The first is from Gwinnett Water. We've had some questions recently about the status of the water tank on Knott Hill. And this is from Richard Reagan with Gwinnett Water. He says the Department of Water Resources has a multi-phase project involving the removal of the water tower. The project's design phase will be complete by early 2021, and the project will go to bid by mid-2021. Construction on the new required pump station will begin in the first quarter of 22. We are planning to remove the water tower in late 2022, early 2023. It should only take 2 to 3 weeks to remove the tower. These dates are tentative, but we can update you later if you would like, and I did tell him we would like, as we draw closer to the construction phase of the project. So please, I understand there was some chatter on the internet about that, but it is scheduled to come down. So
Okay.
everybody, we just kind of tuck that away
And they're going to replace it with a pump station
Yes.
there or somewhere else?
there.
There.
The second one, I was so excited when we received our sales tax check the other day, $410,000. But then we got the explanation. The state, in their infinite wisdom, they're always a little bit off on their checks. And so we go back and there's an audit. And so basically, this check was the makeup of the last 3 years was added to our normal check. Normally, we budget $260. We've been bringing in $270 to $280. So basically, you can think $125,000, $130,000 is the makeup money. This is not going to be the case every month. So just kind of wanted to let everybody know. If you saw that or came across it, that's not going to be a regular occurrence. And the third thing, everybody has a little packet, I think of 3 pages regarding Tree Lane. In 2014, there was a joint project put on the list with the county for Tree Lane. The first rendition of what was going to happen there is the layout here. And it was going to be a city-county joint project. The county was going to contribute quite a bit of money. And basically, we were going to put in make it a two-way street with a cross connection to Presidential Markets, and then a roundabout up by the entrance of the hospital. Well, the county decided they didn't want to participate at that level. So when Sheridan went in, the senior living complex, we backed it down to a roundabout with the connection over to Presidential Markets. So people wouldn't have to go and make a U-turn to get out to 124. And we transferred funds that were left from the roundabout projects in towards this project. Well, we got correspondence from Andrew Thompson the other day saying we are estimating a $900,000 shortfall even after the transfer of remaining funds from the roundabout. Below is the project estimate. So we're going to have a conversation with the county and see where we are. He said it obviously is an estimate as far as right-of-way. We know Sheridan is going to donate right-of-way. I had a conversation with Presidential Markets. They would love to have a connection to have all those people be able to shoot over there. So some of these numbers, I'll bring some changes back to you, but I just wanted to give you an update on where that project stands. So we'll have to talk more about that.
Okay. And then I had something else as well. Just before I came for the meeting tonight, I had a conversation with Chairman Nash regarding the library, and she was calling to give me the good news that it's in the deed, that the property does revert back to the city once it stops being used as a library. So she was actually excited as well, because now that puts that to bed. We get the property like we wanted, and
We're done.
and we're done. And she did also say she's going to have some language inserted in the IGA for the new library that just states that, that per the deed or whatever, that it reverts back to the city. Just, she said that'll put everybody over there on the county on notice, and there shouldn't be any further explanations needed anywhere. So, yep.
Mayor, just as a note to that, we did find minutes of 1986 where council took action to actually name the library, the old library, the William Elizabeth Library.
Good.
And that was provided to the county.
Very good. City Attorney's report?
We would need an executive session, please.
Okay, Butch, updated on ongoing projects?
Not a lot of things to update you on. The town center, I know you got the town center update last Thursday. Two pieces of very good news we've received since then. There will be a walkthrough of the Postal Service, the new Postal Service building on November the 2nd at noon, and they are hoping to be finished with construction on the 7th or 8th of November. We'll see where we are in that walkthrough, but we've noticed how well we thought they were moving, and I think this confirms that. The other thing is, separately from any contract discussion, we received late this afternoon, a guaranteed maximum price from Winter Construction. And that GMP is $11,091,046, which is a great number. That included a 2% contingency of over $200,000. And if you remember, we budgeted $11,250. So that's under budget pretty substantially, and hopefully with all the discussions we're having, we'll be able to move forward with that number.
Can you say that number one more time?
$11,091,046. That's an all-in number. That includes the precast and their general conditions and their contractor's fee.
Okay.
Let's see, personnel, we're still hoping to be able to move forward with the CARES Act money, and we've got a very positive response from the county as to the documentation that we're providing. Hopefully we're going to receive an interim check based on the very first submittal. Hopefully we'll receive the second check shortly thereafter, which is the large check. Census planning, you can see that our numbers, our Snellville number was 76.5% self-response, whereas the county was 71.1%. Georgia is now up to 97%, and that's with the information folks, the canvassing as well as the self-response. So it's come together pretty well. UDO, two readings, first tonight. Commercial property code enforcement. We're open for any issues you see out there. A couple of miscellaneous items. The group health update, we are working on a virtual enrollment the first week in November. Right now, it looks like it's going to be about a 4.5% increase with the change to United Healthcare. And as I mentioned up here, the CARES Act discussions have gone well. I don't think the chairman has signed the subrecipient agreement yet. They may not have had a meeting, but I think we're in line to be being reimbursed for our request. So that's basically all I have for you.
Can I ask a question? On the code enforcement or the complaint that I received from the lady over on Parkside,
Yeah.
are we working towards getting a street light there, a sign that says no
Did you get my
dumping?
email today?
No,
We're working on several things. I had a meeting with Roy and Jason this morning, kind of coordinating the trailer issue, the potential to tow it if it comes back. The EMC is working on the street light in the dumping area. GAG has put up no dumping signs there before, and they've been knocked down. We're going to replace them. I talked to Miss Bailey for a long time, and so I'm not sure what else we can be doing right now. I think we got the concrete out of the street, and so we're just trying to address all those issues. Like I said, it's a difficult area, densely populated, a lot of cars. No parking really is not the right.
I agree. And now and the lots have gone up for sale actively again, so hopefully it'll become a moot issue as they develop.
Maybe, it's too bad he couldn't proceed to begin with, but maybe somebody can. So I think that's been addressed pretty well.
Okay. Anything else? All right, then we'll move on to the fee schedule. Proposed changes.
Do you have anything for alcohol beverage that you have on? We don't have anything related to the alcohol beverage license fees, so nothing from you?
Nothing new for you to consider. I'm drafting, but we kind of got sidetracked last week.
Okay, so just
City
like
stuff.
Okay, we just got a few small in-house changes that kind of go along with the Unified Development Ordinance that we kind of look, that we want to bring up to you guys as we adopt PO, some publication costs for the document, some changes from just in the verbiage, zoning ordinance, development regulations, an actual increase in the zoning certification letter, which both used to be, yes, your property is BG, and now they've become much more laborious and legal. Basically, we have to pull conditions, we have to pull site plans. I mean, it's a 2 or 3, 4-hour job for John Dennis, and they're getting it for $10. So market rate is more than $50, but $50 at least covers what we're putting into it mostly. But the $10 thing is just, that fee is due to go, that's probably from, 20, 30 years ago when it was a very simple one-page letter. They're getting 25-page letters now with the conditions and liens and so on and so forth. So we've recommended an increase there. We've also recommended an increase on our signage for our public notices because we've been given an increase. The prices have gone up, so from this, we were paying $65 a piece now. We're only collecting $50, so we recommend that go up to $75 for a single phase and then $125 for a double phase. We changed item C, conditional use permit, to special use permits, as we'll be removing the conditional uses, and we've also added a category changing conditions that we treat as a rezoning that was not on there. That is now been added to clarify just for the applicant what those costs are, and that's it. That's all we have to change, but it's basically to coincide and be concurrent with the UDO adoption.
The UDO will be available online though.
It will, and to print all those pages in color, it's
Right.
really no reason, but sometimes people want that. So we gotta print it, we'll print it, but there'll be a fee.
And you sure you're okay with, where is it? Since we change these so infrequently, does it not make more sense to raise up the zoning certification letter? You said it takes 4 hours?
Well, I mean, it just depends. A lot of times, a zoning expert will come for a property and it'll be for refinancing, and then it'll be from 4 different lenders, and we'll have the backbone when we can create it. And those won't take as long. So balancing out having to do a brand new one versus having the base,
Okay.
John, who does them all, felt like $50 was fair price.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? So we'll have that on the next agenda?
We will, yes.
And you're not changing the adult entertainment license?
Would you like to make it more? Less?
How much
I'm
is it?
surprised we even have one.
I'm open to suggestions there.
Yeah, put it at 1,000.
Yeah, make it expensive.
1,000 is not expensive for that business.
Okay, and then item C, town center issues.
That was about the bond issue, and I think we've covered it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's 6:58, so we can go ahead and get the executive session knocked out. So if I find my thing here. Okay, during the work session of the mayor and city council of Snellville, Georgia, Mayor Bender announced that certain matters should be discussed in a closed session of the meeting and asked council to advise the city with respect to closing the meeting. City Attorney Chuck Ross advised the city of the following reasons to close the meeting: to discuss pending and/or potential litigation, settlement claims, administrative proceedings, or other judicial actions which is exempt from the Open Meetings Act pursuant to OCGA Section 50-